What do you think about your opponent today?
My opponent is nothing but a rookie who thinks he can take on the greatest cereal eater of all time.
I don't think he's got it in him.
What do you think about Cookie Crisp? Are you good with eating that?
I've never had Cookie Crisp before, so we'll see how I do with this new cereal medium.
Big Creamy has been a notorious cereal eating competitor for the past decade. We had to get a police clearance for him to come into the city today because he's not allowed to be on elementary school premises. Notorious for eating his cereal dry. No milk, nothing, just his fingers. Watch out today. The race is on. We're on the final stretch. How do you feel following your victory in round one?
It wasn't that difficult to beat Big Creamy today. Partially because I really thought that he had a chance against somebody who's been playing for 2 or 3 years now. And he just doesn't have the professionalism yet, but I see good progress in his game and technique throughout the match. He did laugh and squirt all of the milk all over his face, so I do have to go get him a towel from my car right now. Thank you. That'll be all. I'll see you at the conference finals.
All right, see you there. Train hard. All right, we have our competitors here. The guy who beat Big Creamy in round one on the right. And on the left, we have the defending champion, Dirty Tom. It's going to be a fierce bout. 1 round, 1 bowl of cereal. Whoever finishes first claims victory for another year in the Cereal Eaters Federation. All right, begin the pouring ceremony. 2% milk for maximum fat.
Go!
The groans of success. We're on the final stretch. Dig deeper. Oh, it's neck and neck.
I threw it back in the bowl.
Finish it, finish it. Gotta finish.
He was a fierce competitor.
Until next time, everyone. The man who beat Big Creamy will be back. Big Creamy is going to be back better than ever.
The prophecy foretold of a day like this. You want to go back to the U? I kind of do. I have a Russian lesson in the morning.